Good morning, it's Mrs. Franklin here for day 2 of maths this week. Tuesday, the 12th of May, and we're going to continue looking at time. Today, we are learning to investigate 24-hour time. Our learning verb today is investigate, which means we're going to be finding out more about, we're going to be really exploring it and discovering a bit more about it. And we're going to be playing games at the end of today's input. To do some more discovery and finding out. So 24-hour time, we know that the day has 24 hours in it. It doesn't stop at 12 and then we start the whole day from midnight till midnight is 24 hours. But a clock face typically just has 12 of them. And we would say AM and PM. So after midnight is all the morning. So every time from after midnight all the way around until it gets to noon, midday. And then we have PM, past midday. So from midday all the way around till it gets to midnight is the PM, the afternoon. We just use that same circle twice, that same clock face twice. However, sometimes on a digital display, you would have the full 24-hour. So having a look at these three clock faces, this one has the hour pointing at 7 and at 0 minutes, so it is 7 o'clock. Here we have it 7:00, 7 o'clock. Here we have it pointing at 7 or 19 and 00, 7 o'clock. And here it's at 1900 or 1900, which is equivalent, as you can tell by this clock, to 7 p.m. because 7 p.m. is 1900. And you have in red, in the inside, you have 24-hour PM time. I want to have a little look at this one. Is there anything you notice about what you're looking at? Is there any questions and wonderments you have about what you're looking at? Pause if you need. So we have here a 24-hour analog clock. It has on it the outside, around the outside in red, it has the afternoon till midnight times. So if it was a 24-hour clock, the red times are the 24-hour times. The black is the standard 12 hours you'd see, and the blue is the minutes, which we've been used to be seeing. Over here we have AM and PM. So AM is the morning, like I said a minute ago, after midnight, all the way through till noon, midday, and past midday is nighttime. Down at the bottom here we have the exact same information. Okay, except that as on the clock, except it's stretched out flat in a number line, which could be quite helpful if you're used to using number lines already, and it just helps you to visualize it in a different way. So say at the moment, we have our minute hand pointing at 12. We could have it here pointing at the 0, and here we have the hour hand pointing at the 12, the 0, this end to where it says 12. So we have it 12 or 00 and pointing at the 0. So that's how you'd use it. And then if you wanted to count on minutes, you'd go 5, 10, 15 minutes, etc. And if you wanted to count on hours and times, you would come back from the end and you'd go 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, etc. So, having a look at this, we have an analog clock face and the digital display. It's PM. So how would you write that as a digital 24-hour display? Pause and have a go. So the hour hand is pointing to the 8 and the minute hand is pointing to the 0. It is 8 o'clock, 0 minutes past 8. It is PM, so we're not looking at the black times, we're looking at these red outer times. So if I come to the outer time, I can see it says 20, and down here in my number line, I can also see the 8 is equivalent to the 20 in the afternoon. So on my digital display, I would have 20, 0, 0. And that is how you would display it as a 24-hour digital time. It means 8 PM, we say 20, 0, 0. Again, have a look at this one, pause the video and have a go on your own. Okay, it says 4:10 a.m. So the hour hand is pointing between the 4 and the 5, which is the hour is 4. The minute hand is pointing to the 10. It is 10 minutes past 4. The time is 4:10. It is the morning, so on our digital display, we don't need to worry about this upper one here because it's the AM and we're not looking at the red ones, we're just looking at the black ones because it's still that inner circle of black ones. So we would write 04:10, just like that. And we don't need AM or PM because it's a 24-hour digital display. So 04:10. However, if we suddenly decided that actually it's not the morning, it's the afternoon, what would happen to this display? Have a little pause and have a think on your own. Okay, so right, it would, instead of being the 4, we would look to the outer time and it would become 16. The minutes wouldn't change at all. So it's 16:10 in 24-hour language. Have a go at this one on your own. So have a look at it, pause, have a think. What will it say in both those boxes? The hour hand is pointing between the 5 and the 6. The hour is 5. The minute hand is pointing to 45. It is 45 minutes past 5. It is 5:45. And we know it is AM because it's circled AM. So I'm going to write AM there. So how would we write that in digital 24-hour time? We would still write 05:45. We wouldn't need to write AM or PM because it's a digital 24-hour clock. So we don't need to write the AM or the PM. So 5:45. Oh, that's my little girl. Hang on a moment. So it says 05:45. So what about if we moved this across and turned it into an afternoon time, so PM, past midday? It's still 5:45, but instead we have PM. But here we're going to look at it as a 24-hour clock. So the hour hand is pointing between the 5 and the 6. The hour is 5, but 5 PM is known as 17. The minute hand remains the same. The minute hand doesn't change. So instead of saying 5, we put 17 and it becomes 17:45. Finally, have a look at this one. Pause the video if you need to. And then we'll talk through it together. So the hour hand is pointing between the 10 and the 11. The hour is 10. Okay, so we can see it between the 10 and the 11. But we know it's 10 PM because it's circled up here. So I'm going to write it in its PM form here. So it'll be 10. And then the minute hand is pointing at 21, 22. You see it down here really clearly, 21, 22. So 22, and we put PM just so it's really clear it's a PM time. Then we need to think about it as a 24-hour clock. So over here, we're going to change it so that instead of being PM, we just have it like this, but it's not going to be 10:22. What will the 24-hour hour hand time be? Come up here, have a little look. Bring it up here at 10. 10 you can see is 22. So our time is 22:22. So your turn. What you're going to be doing today is you're going to be doing some games. I'm going to quickly get them up and show them to you. You can either do it as a domino, so you make dominoes out of them if you want to have a go at drawing them. If you're able to print them, brilliant. Don't worry at all if you can't, if you'll just do it on the computer and play games. You could do it as a memory game where you match them, you could copy them out and do it yourself. Maybe you could do it, group them in chalk or in pens or pencils, whatever you have knocking around at home. You could get somebody to play it with you, even better, or you can play it as a solo game. I'll just quickly show you the cards and what they're going to look like, and then I'll let you crack on by yourself. Get it up. So here it is. So on the first page are analog clocks. Second page are 12-hour digital times. The third page is 24-hour digital times, and then the final page is written in words, how you describe it to somebody. So if you want to either copy them out or look at them, this last page is a bit trickier. So if you want to leave the last page and just do the first 3 pages, that's fine as well. And then you can always add that last page as an extra challenge to yourself because it has the 2 and the past within it. So there are the first 3 pages are the most important ones, and you can either copy them or you could print them or whatever you want to do. Maybe you could do it with somebody, you could copy them out together. Super. Have fun, and I will see you tomorrow for some more maths. Take care. All right. Bye bye.